What's up, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Drivers Edition. And guess what? We got Zeus's last fill up, and we are officially, or should I say, we have officially picked up the new vehicle. And you guessed it, I'm sitting in the seats of it right now. It was a long event-filled day. Nothing went according to plan, but we finally got the vehicle home. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and let's talk about it.
No. Don't roll it back up.
If you haven't figured it out by now, I got rid of Zeus for a Range Rover. And I know many people are going to be surprised because a lot of people did not expect me to walk away with a Range Rover. But there's a reason, or should I say a method behind the madness. But before I dive deep into that, let's talk about the whole drawn out event-filled day. The day was long, and the video footage I meant to take and how I expected to play out just didn't happen. So I did take some video footage, so I'm going to share with you what I actually took, the video footage I did take, so you can at least share along in the experience. But overall, there's so much to discuss about this purchase, but I'm going to try to make this quick so I can dive into another event-filled video going over more detail about the Range Rover. For right now, I'm just going to share with you this. I know many of you are thinking, Range Rover, why did we end up with a Range Rover out of all the listed cars? And I'll be honest with you that this just made the most sense based off what I can get into the car for, and the simple fact that I truly liked the Aston Martin and the Mercedes AMG GTC, but I really couldn't make a decision between both cars. They both had some perks I liked about them. They both had some things I didn't. And at this point, for the type of commitment I would have to make to get into either one of them, I just felt like neither one of them swayed me in any particular direction to make me say one ownership was better than the other, or one ownership I would want to have more than the other. So I feel like based off what my options were and where the space I was gravitating to be more flexible and have more freedom, and to possibly, or to make sure I can transition into something I really want to own within the next year to 18 months, getting one of those cars wasn't the ideal plan. And we'll go more into that a little bit later. But I'm going to try to make this quick so I can dive into another event-filled video going over more detail about the Range Rover. For right now, I'm just going to share with you this just to give you a quick summary of what took place. I finalized the deal with my credit union. They were sent the check over with guaranteed delivery on Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. I hopped in the vehicle. I hopped in Zeus. We hit the road Thursday afternoon at about 4 p.m. We had a long 10-hour drive to North Carolina. Just to summarize it all, we we're going to drive from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. at night, check into a hotel, which would give me about 7 hours on the road. Wake up in the morning, hop in the car, drive the additional 3 hours to the dealership, arrive there at 10 a.m. Dealership opens at 9. Check should be there by 10:30. Sign the paperwork for the car if I'm taking it. Hit the road, or if not, drive 2 hours down, sign that paperwork, hit the road with the goal to be back home Friday night before midnight. Sounds like a lot. That was the plan. Of course, none of that happened. So what took place is, got to the dealership. The truck was not there. They were cleaning it up, or should I say, pretty much vacuuming out the interior and giving it a basic wash. They drove it through the machine car wash, pulled it outside and said, ta-da, it's done, whatever. But got there, saw the vehicle, looked at it, took it for a quick 30-minute test drive, beat on it a little bit just to make sure no lights came on, nothing was hidden, messed around with the options, the toys and so forth. Everything that I was focusing on worked. So came back, looked at it. I will be honest with you, the color wasn't quite as I was expecting. I was expecting just a tad bit more darker gray, very similar to this Range Rover, but it wasn't, but I'm not upset about it. So that was the only thing that caught me off guard. But other than that, everything looked good. Well, the check did not show up at 10:30. Checked the tracking app, it said it'd be there by 5 p.m. Dealership closed at 7 o'clock on Friday. So now I'm lingering around waiting on this check. And the plan was to arrive at North Carolina at 10 o'clock, take a look at this new vehicle to see if I actually want it, because the way it actually works out, or the way it was set up to work out, is that I had to authorize the check, meaning sign off on a check for it to be validated to move forward with the purchase. If not, I was going to take the check back and drive 2 more hours in North Carolina to my backup vehicle, which we can talk about that if you want to. Let me know in the comments below. Drive 2 more hours to my backup vehicle and sign the paperwork for that car, which the finance was already pre-approved. They were going to hold the paperwork for that car. I was going to send them a check from the credit union the same way, overnight it. And as long as I got it to them within 7 business days, let's just say 1 week, they would take the check and we go from there. So anywho, that's the quick rundown of what was supposed to take place. What actually took place was 5 o'clock comes around, check doesn't show up. I'm at the point whereas I said to my son and to the dealership, like, look, I appreciate it. I like the car, but if the check doesn't come today, it ain't meant for me to have this car, and I'm going to head out. So now they're scrambling, trying to figure out how to finish this deal without receiving the check and without me signing paperwork to finance with them, because I refused to do it because I had a check coming and they already signed paperwork. So it's just a long drawn out process. Ultimately, what ends up happening is around 6:30, my bank, my credit union, had to fax over a picture of the actual check that was sent. Then we took the actual check number, all the information off the check, and I signed an affidavit allowing somebody at the dealership to endorse the check to be deposited with power of attorney. So it became a long, drawn out process in order for me to get this car. But once that was done, we hit the road pretty much at 7 o'clock at night. And because of that, a lot of the videos and things I wanted to showcase on the drive home just didn't happen. I end up driving all throughout the night. So like I told you, we left a tad bit before 7. So let's just say 6:40-ish time frame. And I arrived in Chicago, just so you understand, at 6:12 a.m. So this has been a long day for me, but I did have the co-pilot, as you see, helping out with the car. So yeah. Now, getting back to the whole purpose of this purchase, I know many people are going to be surprised and say, wow, why did you get a Range Rover? Well, this isn't just any Range Rover. It is a Range Rover SV autobiography. And like I've stated before, I like luxury cars, and this car has top of the line luxury. I also like performance. I'm more luxury than I am performance. I like luxury first, then performance. So I really wanted to explore having a performance SUV. Now, this truck has 557 horsepower. You heard me correct, 557 horsepower. It is not the quickest thing off the line 0 to 60. But once it's moving, it actually surprises a lot of people. on that drive home, what was very interesting with that drive home is that I was on the highway coming home at night, and I was trying to shorten up the trip because I was ready to get home. And what typically happens is I find a driver to play with, or should I say a driver to ride along with along the way. Ran into a SRT Jeep, and let's just say he made the trip, or at least 187 miles of it fun. And not only did that make it fun, but what was really interesting, or I should say fun about the whole part of it is, once I pulled into the gas station to refuel, he pulled off with me. He pulls up to the car and he sits there and says, "Hey man, what you got in that truck? Like, what did you do to it?" And I'm like, "It's stock." He's like, "Nah, it's not stock. I've never seen a Range Rover like that." And that's just it. This Range Rover outperforms base, or should I say regular SRT8 Cherokees. Yeah, the regular SRT8 Cherokee. This car moves. It doesn't rival like a Trackhawk, but it has more performance than people give it credit for. It actually hangs out there with a lot of sports cars on the market that are like 450 horsepower. I'm hanging right there with them. So a lot of people are surprised by this vehicle, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get it, because I feel like no one, when I look at videos, actually own this type of vehicle. Now, I will go more in depth on what made me purchase this specific vehicle in another video, but just to share it with you so you get an understanding of why I now own a Range Rover is, I love the Range Rover I had beforehand, and I was kind of missing that Range Rover ownership experience. Now, I know I didn't off-road a lot. I'm going to do my best to get you at least some footage while I own this vehicle, doing some off-road and having fun with it. But at the end of the day, this model right here is the top of the line Range Rover they offer. It's technically over the top. And when I say over the top, I mean, there is so many toys, so many options, so many luxury features. I mean, let's be real. We're talking about a Range Rover that has memory seats for all 4 seats. We're talking about a Range Rover that has massaging seats at all 4 seats. We're talking about a Range Rover that actually has a seat that does a fully recline option. Yes, that passenger over there can fully recline his seats into a lay down position. We're talking about a truck that you just don't see every day. And that's why I had to own it. Because at the end of the day, once I found out about this vehicle, compared to the Range Rover SVR, and yes, that was the alternative vehicle. I had a Range Rover SVR that was a little bit less than 2 hours away that I was going to go pick up as a backup. But just being completely honest with you, the Range Rover SVR was more performance oriented than it was luxury oriented. And that's what kind of steered me away from it. And just so you understand, riding home, playing with a Jeep, and putting away from it with massaging seats on, it's just a different vibe. And if you can't appreciate it, look, all I can say to you is this, because I'm getting tired, I know I need to take a nap. But all I can say to you is this, I promise you, this vehicle is going to surprise a lot of you. I'm going to get more in depth with it, and I'm going to show you all the reasons why I had to have this vehicle. But let's just say this, Zeus is gone. We have a Range Rover SV autobiography now, and at least for the next 18 months. And the reason why I say 18 months, just being fully transparent with you, one of the reasons I took the risk on this vehicle is because for what I paid for it, I did some research before I picked it up. And I reached out to Carvana and a couple of other buy your car online sites. And the price they offered me for the vehicle, that sight unseen, they would cut me a check for a minimum of $10,000 more than what I'm in this vehicle for. The Corvette carried over just over 7 grand worth of equity. So truthfully, I can flip this car right now and make an additional 3 grand that I could not have made with the Corvette C8. So I feel like I'm in the right space for this car to at least play with it and give you some content and enjoy it, or see if I truly enjoy it myself. So that's my goal. I'm going to play with this car for a little bit. If it doesn't work out like I think it should work out, I'll probably just unload it, walk away, whatever I can walk away with it from the bank, and move forward. But I'm going to bring you some content. I'm going to get more in depth with this vehicle, and we can talk about it in an upcoming video. So tell me what you think about the new Range Rover we bought to the channel. Let me go ahead and get some rest. I'll shoot a video tomorrow. We'll go over a little bit more in depth. We'll talk about why I made the moves I made, and I think you're going to enjoy this one. So, ICNV's Driver Edition. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driver Edition community. We are an interactive community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I may even shoot a video on it. But don't forget, we're also a community of car enthusiasts that love to drive cars to make you turn your head that aren't your everyday people movers. And I say that with emphasis because this Range Rover isn't your everyday people mover. And I'm going to showcase that to you to make you understand why this car drew me in so much. But we were all made in his image and given dominion over the world, which means we weren't just meant to be. So chase your dreams, build your visions, never ever give up, and embrace your own identity. It is okay to be unique. He's not done with you, and he's definitely not done with me. We were all given unique gifts to help us become the best version of ourselves that we were meant to be. So step into your calling and become the blessing to the world that you were meant to be. Just remember to stay humble, stay focused, and stay blessed. And I'll see you in these streets. Peace.